हेलो सबको नमस्ते। आईएफएफ न्यूज की तरफ से आप सबको नमस्ते एंड आई थिंक हमारा इस साल का पहला शो है। आई थिंक लाइव शो तो पहला है। सो अगेन हैप्पी न्यू ईयर टू ऑल। हम लोग 31 दिसंबर के बाद फिर वापस आए हैं एंड ऑब्वियसली विद सम गुड न्यूज। जयदीप सर joins us for this discussion. Thank you again, Jaydeep sir, for your time. And we
Thank you,
will have a
Sharan.
great time together and discussing about Indian football. I think it's always been an honor to share a platform with you and understanding things about Indian football. And Jaydeep, uh, firstly, how happy are you that at least after many months we are discussing about Indian football and Indian football is back? What's your take on this?
Uh, well, I won't say that I'm ecstatic about it, but I'm reasonably happy. Definitely reasonably happy that finally the ball will be rolling on the pitch, and Indian domestic uh, club football season will at least begin. Women's, of course, has already begun, but in the men's section, the main league was supposed to begin on, I think, February 14. That's what I think the sports minister said yesterday. So it's good that the match, at least football will be played, because unless football is played, everything becomes meaningless. Whatever you say, whatever you discuss, however big are your ideas and bright are your ideas and how much vision you have, it doesn't matter at all unless it is played. Football is about playing on the pitch, and it's back on the pitch, back on the ground. That's a big thing. Big thing. That's why I'm reasonably happy. I'm reasonably happy about it. Certainly.
बट जयदीप दा, ये जो लास्ट 6 months हैव बीन, मतलब जो हम लोग ने देखा, वन थिंग आई वुड से, आप काफी कॉन्फिडेंट थे ये लीग होगा, बिकॉज लास्ट वीक भी हम लोग जब हमने शो किया था एंड जब आपने आपने बोला था दैट मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द क्लब्स आर ओके एंड दे आर रेडी टू प्ले. Sometimes in some section of the media were quite unsure till yesterday, but कल के बाद से सब में कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया. ऑब्वियसली द स्पोर्ट्स मिनिस्ट्री का वर्ड से शायद सबको ज्यादा कॉन्फिडेंस, बट आपका ये कॉन्फिडेंस कहाँ से आ रहा था? बिकॉज आप पहले दिन से बोल रहे थे दैट शायद लीग तो होगा, इसमें जैसे भी होगा होगा, बट लीग विल हैपन. ये कहाँ से आपको कॉन्फिडेंस मिल रहा था?
Confidence, I don't know from where my confidence came. Actually, I thought that what my feeling was from the day one when the problem started, that whatever happens, however bad the situation is, I thought the good sense will finally prevail on people, and they will come back and start playing, because any stakeholder who are associated with the game, whether it's club or the AFF or the officials or the referees or anything, any stakeholder who are here with the game, or even the marketing partners, even the promoters of the game, even the broadcasters, the finally all of them depend on football. If you don't play football, then like journalists we are, you and me, who are journalists, ours is also our I won't say our bread and butter, but our everything depends on football. If football is not played, then all of us become redundant. We have no role to play in the society anymore, because we depend on football. So that's what I thought. Ki at least good sense will prevail among people. They will come back, join hands, and start playing football. That was my only confidence. Yeah, a lot of complications were there, and a lot of complication has to be solved. And I still think there are a lot of complications around which are yet to be solved, and I'm not sure how they will be solved. That also, I'm very at times I feel very skeptical about. But uh, but my confidence came from the fact that people in Indian football will finally realize one day that this things cannot go this way, because whatever differences we have, it has to settle finally when the match starts, when the game starts. So that's what I always thought, that but despite the poor handling of the situation by All India Football Federation, things will change. The football will turn around and start playing on the pitch.
आई थिंक दादा, एक चीज तो इसमें आई अग्री विथ यू. ऑब्वियसली ऑल द स्टेक होल्डर्स, एवरीबॉडी, ऑल द व्यूअर्स वर आल्सो वेटिंग फॉर दिस डे. जयदीप एक चीज यहाँ पर हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे जो अभी आपने उसको टच किया, आई थिंक दिस अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट ऑफ डिस्कशन इज दैट इसके बाद क्या, बिकॉज कल जो हमारे मिनिस्टर साहब थे उन्होंने बोल दिया 14 टीम ही खेलेगी, बट अभी अभी का क्या अपडेट है, बिकॉज यस्टरडे ऑल वाज म्यूचुअल, आज तो आई थिंक दे नीडेड टू give the final confirmation was supposed to be given today. Still now, any news, any club backing out, any news you have?
See, last time I spoke to someone in the among the clubs, they said ki all teams are playing. Probably at one team is in there are some uncertainties surrounding at least one team, that is Odisha FC. So they may back out, they may fall out of the league, but again they may play also. Nobody is definite that they will back out of the league, but there are some suspicion that they may not play at all. But we will see. So the minister yesterday said, and the AFA president, Mr. Chove, also yesterday said that all 14 teams will play and 91 matches will be played. And so let's go with the fact that on face value, rather, that all 14 teams will play. That's the only way to
Okay.
look at things at the moment. But we will see whether it comes down to 13, or if one or two maybe club back out at the last moment. But I have a feeling that all of them will play. Odisha, of course, has a problem. They have to build the team again, and perhaps we'll have to start from the scratches this season. They are facing some issues, definitely, but I think they will overcome the issues and come back and start playing.
And that would be, I think, good for Indian football also. But Jadip, coming to the point, कल का तो हो गया, कल तो अनाउंसमेंट हो गया क्लब खेलेंगे, बट यहाँ से what do you think is the way forward for All India Football Federation, the clubs, and how do you think it's very realistic in just 35 days time this league can be done? इतने कम टाइम में क्या पॉसिबल आपको लगता है हो पाएगा, बिकॉज आप फेडरेशन में काम किए, बिकॉज यू हैव दिस, आपने बहुत साल इंडियन फुटबॉल को कवर किया, डू यू थिंक दिस फॉर 35 डेज इज एनफ टू होस्ट दिस लीग? करंटली क्लब्स का जो हालत है उसको देख के ज्यादातर क्लब्स में फॉरेनर चले जा रहे हैं, उस हिसाब से मैं पूछ रहा था.
मतलब are you talking from the operational point of view?
ऑपरेशनल,
Yeah.
ऑपरेशनल
I
पॉइंट.
think from the operational point of view, there shouldn't be any problem because clubs are quite well equipped and they are well experienced about how to hold matches. So I think they will quickly see. अगर आप चाहें कि जो भी कुछ हुआ है होगा, वो सब पुराना जैसे होगा. The benchmark will be how the ISL was played last time or year before last or before that. Then it will be a problem. आपको आपने अगर बेंचमार्क बहुत एग्जैक्टिंग सेट करके चलेंगे तो फिर वो all whatever all you will get back is disappointment in some sectors. आपको ये सोच के चलना पड़ेगा that it has been a truncated season. बहुत लेट सीजन शुरू हो रहा है. अभी जो भी हो रहा है थोड़ा हरिडली काम हो रहा है, और हरिडली काम जब होता है पूरा आप सब कुछ परफेक्ट नहीं होता है. Whenever there is anything done hard, whether it's a team building or it's a match operation, whatever you look at it, ये hurriedly नहीं होता है. So but again at the same time they are not left with much time. If they have to kick off on February 14th, then they have only 5 weeks in hand at the moment. 5 or 5.5 weeks they have a hand in moment. उसके अंदर जो कुछ करना पड़ेगा. So there will be some issues I'm sure about, whether about operation or team building or whatever, or broadcasting for that matter. There will be issues. But if you want everything perfect, then it is not possible. So we have to choose between two, whether to have everything perfect and then go, or at least to start matches so that you can correct your during the course of action, you can correct your things. And what is most important at the moment, the finest kind of broadcasting, the finest kind of commentary, the finest kind of pitch condition, the finest kind of operational success, Is that the most important, or to start playing is the most important? Even if on a lower key, even if on a low key, what is most important? The most important in my, if you ask me, most important is to start playing. That is
Correct.
most important. Everything will come later. You can correct them. You may
Correct.
not be able to correct them. There could be some issues. There are some people, it might be hindrances to a hindrance towards a lot of other things. But
Correct.
that the matches are being played, that the league is being played, that's the biggest takeaway from this entire thing. That's what I think.
नहीं हम एक्चुअली जयदीप आपने जो बात बोला है इट्स हम लोग को भी सोचना है करेक्टली हाँ आपने सही बात बोला वी कांट एक्सपेक्ट जो जैसे चल रहा था उस हिसाब से होगा बिकॉज हम लोग काफी जल्दबाजी में ये लीक करेंगे अभी एंड ऑब्वियसली जैसे लीक होगा ब्रॉडकास्टिंग स्ट्रीमिंग क्वालिटी को लेके ज्यादातर आदमी लोग अभी बात कर रहे हैं कैसे होगा इतना कम पैसे में दैट वी हैव टू क्या बोलता हूँ वी हैव टू बियर दिस फॉर एटलीस्ट फॉर दिस सेशन जयदीप भाई यहाँ पर क्वेश्चंस बहुत सारे आए आई विल टेक फ्यू क्वेश्चंस आल्सो Yuvraj Sen ने क्वेश्चन किया he has this question he says will AIFF float two tenders short term or long term I think he wanted to say about the broadcast part.
Yeah, I think two tenders. See, I think the short-term tender, which is for this year, that has to be closed by 31st of January, I think.
Yes.
I think broadcast, and I'm not exactly, it is not in my hand. I have had a look at the plan. So I'm just telling you from my
This is the
memory. I may
31st.
be little मैं थोड़ा गलत भी हो सकता हूँ. मेरे ख्याल से वो 31st जनवरी के अंदर उनको होगा. और जो long term tender deal है, I think that has to be closed by 31st of March. So there are I think the first tender will be only for this season, and then there will be the 20-year long-term program जो भी है जो बना बोल रहे हैं उसका सारा deal including broadcasting commercial partners including clubs everything जो भी है that I think everything need to be finalized by 31st of March or maybe a little more than that I don't remember. So मेरे ख्याल से दो टेंडर होगा मेरे ख्याल से. Well, this is the at least the plan, the AFF model which has been accepted yesterday. It says so. अब during the course of time काम करने के time तो ये थोड़ा बहुत इधर उधर होता ही रहता है. But that's the मतलब that's so far that's the
That is the plan.
case.
And I think, do you think that after FSDL is not till now, I will not say they are not there in this year season. Do you think that FSDL leaving Indian football? Do you think it would be a big setback for Indian football as a whole because the amount they invested, which they always say, and I think the various stakeholders associate to them, they are saying that it will be a big setback because this is something. I'll not take anybody's name, but this is something very short term. And in long term, this kind of jugaad, I think I would use this word jugaad for more people understanding, would lead to more problems in future in Indian football.
See, I'll tell you a small story.
Please.
In 1996, we were doing the ICC Cricket World Cup.
Okay.
So that time I was working for the Hindustan Times. So in one of the matches, Mansur Ali Khan Pataudi was the match referee.
Okay.
Match referee.
Okay.
So he was asked a few questions about Indian team, and that time only a couple of years ago, or only a year ago, Kapil Dev had retired from cricket. He was a big man of Indian cricket. He was the number one cricketer of Indian cricket those days. He had retired. So somebody's asked Pataudi that, sir, do you think India will miss Kapil Dev? Then Pataudi looked at the journalist and said, I think India will miss Vijay Marchand Sikkanaidu also. then when everybody laughed, he said, you have to think what you have in hand. You can't think about things which has already gone by. It is like your question. See, you are asking whether that particular marketing partners of AFF, they have gone, whether it's a big blow and it will take Indian football down, up or whatever you were asking. The thing is that when of course I was too young at that time, but I was a kid at that time. But when Nehru passed away, before that there was a lot of talks about after Nehru who. But in India has even after that 60 years ago, I think he passed away, and India is still going on in the right direction or whatever you say it. So it's not that the void was created. Definitely, the death of Jawaharlal Nehru as the Indian Prime Minister, who was India's Prime Minister for 17 years, his death was of course created a void. But life didn't stop because of that. Life went on. The country went on. In this case also, somebody has gone. Of course, it has created a void because they have done a lot of good things also for Indian football. Now they are no more. No, they are not with they are not the AFF's marketing partners. That doesn't mean Indian football will stop. Indian football is too big for that. It may be poor. It may be poor. It may not have a lot of money. It may not be doing very well internationally. Its ranking is poor. But as a concept, Indian football is bigger than any marketing partners. So nobody should think that somebody's going will affect it. Will have a long-term effect. No long-term effect. It may have a short-term effect. There are in certain areas there may be some problems, definitely, but system will correct itself and Indian football will go on. This much I can say.
डेफिनेटली डेफिनेटली जयदीप दा, जयदीप दा, एक पार्ट से भी ये डिस्कशन भी आ रहा है जयदीप दा, आपने जो ऐसे ही बोला द इंडियन फुटबॉल विल गो ऑन, डेफिनेटली आई ऑलवेज एग्री एंड आई ऑलवेज बाई विद योर वर्ड्स, बट एक सेक्शन से ये भी बोला जा रहा है दैट वंस एफएसडीएल इज गॉन राइट नाउ, अभी मार्केट करेक्शन भी होगा, एंड आई हैव टॉक्ड विद मेनी प्लेयर एजेंट्स हु आर पार्ट ऑफ दिस सिस्टम एंड दे वर्क विद द प्लेयर्स, ये मार्केट करेक्शन भी काफी इंपॉर्टेंट जरूरी था इंडियन फुटबॉल के लिए, आपको नहीं लगता ये इसके बाद द मार्केट करेक्शन जो ओवर वैल्यूड हो गए थे कुछ कुछ प्लेयर्स, कुछ नहीं, आई थिंक ज्यादातर प्लेयर्स ही ओवर वैल्यूड हो गए थे, डोंट यू थिंक ये आस्ते आस्ते ठीक हो जाएगा और वो शायद और लॉन्ग टर्म में इंडियन फुटबॉल को बेनिफिट भी कर जाए?
देखो सायन, इसमें this is a very popular theory that players are being overpaid. Because given their international performance, when they perform really badly, I also get upset that why this player should be paid so much if they can't deliver, can't even beat Bangladesh, can't even beat Singapore at home. So why should we? So that theory is there, but you have to think two things. First of all, these players did not forcibly take money from anyone. They have been paid by the clubs, and clubs paid the money not because they want to waste money, not because they want to what you say, intentionally increase the salaries of people. No employer ever do it. Do you think you are overpaid in your office? Certainly not. I'm also not over. I was, when I was working as a journalist, I always thought I was underpaid. So there cannot be an overpaid employee. That concept is not right. But why they were paying? Because also you have to see that there were the number of players available in the market were always less.
Correct.
The supply line was poor, and supply line is still poor. The number of good players, that you have to understand the market economy. The supply line had always been poor. The supply line was less than the demand. So whatever you hand, people try to take them, and that automatically increases the value of the players. And finally, they end up getting what most of the people want. A lot of people say they don't deserve to get it. So the thing is that if the market corrections has to be done, it has to be done by the clubs. But I am not sure how it will be done, because from where clubs will get replacements.
Correct.
Will all clubs join hands to say that we will not pay more than this? There are some clubs who are talking about, I know in the last few weeks, some of the clubs, at least one club who have been passionately talking about market corrections and salary cap. Why don't they join hands and do it? Who is stopping them? See, when it comes to football transfer market, any attempt to do a kind of to form a kind of union and restrict the money flow has always failed, is always failed. In 1988, I think 1988 or 87, two Calcutta clubs, Mohun Bagan and East Bengal, they joined, I think in the 90s, or they joined hands to say that we will not play any player more than 80,000 rupees. That attempt only lasted a few months because the clubs wanted players. So when the clubs wanted players, the players said, "You will pay me 80,000 unless you give me 1,20,000." I'm talking about those days. I know who are the players. I don't want to name them. They are all my friends, so I don't want to name them. They said, "Unless you pay this money, I'm not going to play." So they had to pay it. See, there are some talks which बातें मैं सुनता रहता हूँ. I'm not sure about that. That there are in between, a lot of people are getting some commission out of it, enjoying their lives because of that, and all these things we are listening. But there is no proof of it. So let's not get into that. But जो market correction की आप बात कर रहे हो, वो मेरे को तो काफी उस पे doubts है. I have it cannot be like that.
पर ऐसे तो नहीं होगा दादा, अभी जैसे चल रहा था उससे तो कम हो ही जाएगा आस्ते आस्ते. जैसे चल रहा था, मतलब 25-30 करोड़, मतलब 20 करोड़ मिल जा रहा था एक ट्रांसफर 5 साल का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में, उससे तो कम ही हो जाएगा अभी आस्ते आस्ते.
हाँ, if clubs are not in a position to pay, then so it has to come down. If the clubs raise their hands and say we have no money, we cannot pay more than it. It is like that. See, in football, if you look at the successful clubs across the world, whether it is Manchester United or whether it is what you say Real Madrid or whether it is Barcelona, any club you look at it, chunk of their budget, the major chunk of their budget goes in players payment. आपके पास दो ऑप्शंस है. आप players payment restrict करो, you make a moderate club and finish at 4th position, 5th position, 6th position, 3rd position, 4th position, something like that. But if you want to become champion, if your aim is to become champion, the top position, if you want the trophy, if you want the league title, then you have to hire the best players because they only can give it, and hiring the best players is always expensive. Obviously, because they are the best, they will get you the best. So this equation is it's a very difficult equation in football. Actually, nobody could solve this problem properly, perhaps. So
नहीं जदीदा मैं एक बात क्यों बोला था, I wanted to understand from you because देखिए 2014 से पहले फिर भी मैं देखता था इंडियन प्लेयर्स बाहर जाने का कोशिश करते थे. जैसे गुरप्रीत सिंह संधू आपका देखिए एक एग्जांपल मैं दे रहा हूँ. इससे पहले बाईचुंग भूटिया गया है, सुनील छेत्री गया है. बट उसके 2014 के बाद से जो मार्केट हो गया, उसके बाद से मेरे को लगा यार मैं तो यहीं पे रह जाऊं, कुछ सीखूं ना सीखूं, यहीं पे रहूं, यहीं पे मजे करूं एंड पैसा. और that's good from the player's point of view, but for the long term growth of a player, actually this was something उनका ग्रोथ उस हिसाब से नहीं हो पा रहा था इंटरनेशनल फुटबॉल में, या बिकॉज द क्वालिटी ऑफ द ओपोनेंट्स दे वर प्लेइंग. जैसे गुरप्रीत when he was playing with Norway, playing in Norway, so his stature as a player was different. When he came to India, he deteriorated. Again, he went back. I heard last time when he made a comeback to the national team last summer. So आपको नहीं लगता वो होगा एटलीस्ट, उससे तो अच्छा होता है ना. 2014 से पहले प्लेयर जा रहे थे, 14 के बाद पूरा ही बंद हो गया. सब बोल दे हम यहीं पे मस्त है, हम लोग को कहीं जाना नहीं, यहीं पे हम लोग को मिल जा रहा है सब कुछ.
बात तो सही है, क्योंकि 16.5 करोड़ के कैप, सैलरी कैप तो नहीं था उन दिनों में, ये पेमेंट नहीं होता था. तो इसलिए क्योंकि क्लब्स जो था, अभी उसके बाद 2014 के बाद क्लब्स आ गए हैं जो कि हु आर इन ए रेडी टू पे, हु आर इन ए पोजीशन टू प्ले. तो अगर क्लब्स मिलकर सैलरी कैप कम कर देते हैं कि 10 करोड़ में टीम बनाना है, जो भी है, आई एम नॉट श्योर अबाउट, उसके ज्यादातर पैसे तो उनके फॉरेन प्लेयर्स पे जाते हैं. तो फिर ऐसे होगा. लेट अस सी हाउ इट गोस. इट इज फॉर द क्लब्स टू if the salary cap cannot be given by anyone, it is for the clubs to do it. That's all.
I
Which
think
way they are
Nishant.
looking at it?
नहीं नहीं आप दादा एक क्वेश्चन है आई वांट टू टेक फ्रॉम यू निशांत हैज दिस क्वेश्चन ही सेज now there is so much upcoming good footballers in India from youth so salary could should automatically come down he's trying to say this and do you agree with this salary मतलब हमारा youth में अभी आपको लग रहा है सप्लाई ठीक है
I don't entirely agree with it. That the supply line is very good. अगर आप हमारा age group में हमारा result देखो, even this under 17 team which has qualified, which is certainly not the best under 17 team in the last few years. Even Bibiano, if you ask, Bibiano will tell you that even he had better teams in the last 3 years. So that doesn't mean this team is bad. I'm not trying to undermine them. I'm not trying to bring them down or take the credit away from them. Under 20 में देखिए, under 23 में देखिए हमारा result. Yeah, maybe some good players are coming, but their number is less than what the market needs. So that is one of the reasons. So this is Shayan, this मतलब ये जो discussion है इस discussion का कोई मतलब end नहीं है कोई अंत नहीं है
नहीं नहीं and they
क्योंकि
actually because now
so
once FSDL is gone people are asking this question because ये दादा इसका एक impact था शायद वो हम लोग को नजर में नहीं आ रहा था बिकॉज चलो द मार्केटिंग पार्टनर का इतना से था द कंट्रोल उनका जो था इस लीग में वो अलग था मतलब दे वर trying to dominate many things to AIFF and if AIFF
but
was
not to but players payment they had nothing to do with it. It was the
नहीं
clubs
नहीं
who were doing it.
नहीं 100 नहीं उनका प्लेन नहीं बट ऑब्वियसली जैसा पैकेजिंग था उस हिसाब से पेमेंट भी बढ़ गया द लीग का स्ट्रक्चर बढ़ा वो है बट दादा एक क्वेश्चन मैं आपको पूछूंगा यहाँ पर दैट दिस एज दिस लीग इज हैपनिंग डू यू थिंक जो आप बार बार बोल रहे हो दैट दिस प्रमोशन रेलिगेशन का बात जो इस बार बोला गया है कोर्ट में that promotion and regulation relegation should start. Do you think Indian football, the amount these clubs have invested, are they ready for this promotion relegation in this season itself?
I didn't get you. Can you ask me again?
I'm
Whether
trying
this
to understand,
promotion
ask
and
you.
relegation is needed or not, you are saying this
Yes,
season.
yes. This season.
हाँ देखिए ऐसा है actually this is helpless. AFF is helpless in this issue on this issue because this constitution of the AFF, which Supreme Court has given us, clearly said there should be Premier League and there should be promotion and relegation in the league. Correct. So to say there will be no promotion relegation, people will take you to court. There will be litigation. So AFF is in no position to say that हम relegation बंद कर देंगे. But I think clubs, or some of the clubs, I think they are going to the clubs are going to the court with a plea that for this year the Supreme Court should give some exemption to promotion and relegation. So अगर वो Supreme Court मान लेता है तो फिर promotion relegation नहीं होगा. अगर सुप्रीम कोर्ट नहीं मानते हैं अगर ये क्लब्स क्योंकि ये अगर आपको बंद कराना है तो यू हैव टू गो टू द सुप्रीम कोर्ट एंड टेल देम कि प्लीज गिव अस सम exemption at least for this year, temporary exemption. From next year we'll come back to that, since it's a truncated league, since it has started so late after so much of problem, all teams are not ready, which I agree with you. तो लेकिन वो that verdict should come from Supreme Court. It is in nobody's hand at the moment. If the Supreme Court doesn't permit, then the promotion relegation will be there. But in this case, of course, relegation will be there. There is no doubt about it.
Okay. I think this is something which we needed to clear it. So, Dada, how excited are you? 35 days left for the tournament. Before we wrap up, I just wanted to understand that what are your expectation of this year's ISL, which would be, I think, in a more less celebrated manner. What is your expectation as a normal follower of the game?
See, Sayan, as you said, as I told you, I'm very happy that I'm reasonably happy that tournament is being played, the league is being played. At the same time, I think a lot of questions remain unanswered. We are, everybody is delighted as if it's a feel-good season for all of us, but a lot of questions remain unanswered. Like who will be the broadcasters? Who will do the production? And who will be the marketing partners? The broadcasters, they fail to get broadcasters, then how they will get the money? Then who will bear the cost? So much of money, the cost will come up on the on the clubs, on the AFF. Everybody will have to share the cost. They are going for a 20-year deal, and the 20-year deal, no broadcaster or market, because previously we have experienced that when AFF floated the tender, there was no takers for it. If it happens again, then what will happen? These are the questions has to be answered, because I think there are a lot of uncertainties ahead. It is I think we should wait for some time before we really start celebrating. But there is of course a reason to celebrate that finally we have a scenario where football will be played. See, for a common fan, fan of Indian football, they are not deeply into it. They are not bothered who is paying whose money, how who is sustaining, from where the money is coming. They are not bothered. They want the game to be played. So, but once you and there is no doubt that the trust factor about or the All India Football Federation has reached its lowest ebb. Otherwise, have you ever seen a situation when a problem in Indian football was solved by the ministry instead of the AFF? AFF became secondary and ministry became the main. The government of India had to come up and solve the problems of Indian football. That's quite demeaning, actually. That means the system has completely collapsed. The system has failed. That's why an outside force has to come and take charge of the situation.
They needed to intervene, right?
So that means the confidence factor, the trust factor about the people who are managing the show at the moment at the AFF is very low in the market, even among these stakeholders. So I sincerely, I have a feeling that I expect or I hope that once the game starts, then the confidence will start building, and people will think those who are the custodians of broadcasting or marketing or commercial partners, those who are key factor in running the game, the key factors in running the game, they will find some confidence back on the AFF, and will do something to, invest some money, to pump in some money, that the football becomes better, and all the problems I was talking about broadcasters and about production, about commercial partners will be solved. That's the only thing. But a lot of questions remain unanswered at the moment, and we have in the next 3 months, maybe we will see how these questions are answered.
Jadida, I was talking to, before we wrap up, I will say, I was talking to one of the CEO of a club. I don't want to name the club and the CEO's name. I was asking him that, what is your take that the club, everything is now solved, and what is it? He said, we are very, I think the line would always win with me. He said this, that just wait for the ball to start the ball rolling, then we can celebrate. Until the ball starts rolling, we shouldn't celebrate too early, because such is the condition of as you were saying, people are not so confident about things happening.
So he's still not confident that the matches will be played, but the tournament will kick off.
Yes, there are. I talked today with one of the CEOs, and that shows the level of confidence EIFF has with its stakeholders. I don't want to name the club and the CEO, but
okay, that's true. But okay, it is his opinion. That is his opinion. But clubs will have to also stand on their feet. After 10 years, some clubs, it seems, they still need hand-holding. They behave like toddlers, as if without having the hand-holding support which they enjoyed for the last 10 years. They are all at sea. stranger on the field,
Correct.
looking for their parents. Some of them behave like that. So I think 10 years is enough of an experience, and I believe some of the clubs should stop behaving like toddlers.
Correct, correct. Let's. I think Jaribda, I think you correctly said everyone, all the stakeholders should come in this way. And हाँ obviously ये जो फुटबॉल सीजन होने वाला है, मतलब आईएसएल सीजन जो होने वाला है, मैचेस जो होने वाले हैं, ऑब्वियसली हमको उस तरह का ब्रॉडकास्ट ना मिले, उस तरह का स्ट्रीमिंग ना मिले, उस तरह का कमेंट्री ना मिले, बट एटलीस्ट द फुटबॉल जो बंद हो गया वो एटलीस्ट स्टार्ट होगा, एंड आई थिंक आस्ते आस्ते सब ठीक हो ही जाएगा. आई थिंक at least will take its own course. So thank you, Jadipda, for your time. I think thanks to all the
Thank you.
viewers who watch this video. Do like the video, and any questions if you have, just share in our question section. We'll definitely answer it back. And do follow us in Twitter and YouTube. Good night from all of us. Good night. Bye. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you. Good night.